Reforms are always challenging, especially there are those who would like to, resist changes, and I've seen that in Mexico street, sort of the resistance to reforms, for example. Now, after 10 years of, trying to push these reforms, are you finding yourself having to sort of compromise? I mean, what are now the main challenges, particularly in making the Pact for Mexico work, how to get everybody to be on the same page, fighting for a common cause and putting politics aside? Has that been very difficult for you?
I believe that Mexico has a lot of experience as a democracy. We have managed to find the best way to actually make changes happen. We need substantial and structural changes. And as such, Pact for Mexico is an agreement that we managed to agree between the top political forces and my administration to push forward an agenda. I believe that it is part of the democratic development of our country. Mexico is every time more plural, democratic and more diverse. And in such a diversity, we need to create the right mechanism to reach broad agreements so that major transformation can happen. That is actually what is going on in Mexico. I believe that all the progress that we have seen in the area, the adjustment needed, represent a challenge. But at the same time, this is a huge window of opportunity so that the country can boost what it has and takes the most out of its strength. We are a very open country in terms of trade. On average, we have a very young population. 27 is the average age in our country. Therefore, we have a very young country, and we have opportunities to grow and develop, but we need to have the avenues open for them to happen. This is Mexico has today, and this is what Mexico wants to put out to the world as well. And also, Mexico involves with the most important causes around the world.
Pero hay que crear esos cauces o esas rutas para crecer. Esto es lo que México tiene hoy y así se quiere proyectar al mundo, asumiendo también su responsabilidad con las grandes causas que tiene la humanidad.
And one of the reforms that I found very interesting, and also it actually created a lot of the demonstrations you saw, that the teachers, the education reform, and you mentioned in your book the need to create a knowledge society. Why is it important for Mexico to have this knowledge society?
One of the roadblocks for Mexico's quick development is the lack of productivity in our country. We want Mexico to be more productive in every single sector. We want the country to be productive nationwide in every single economic sector. Therefore, the educational reform, which is part of the consensus reached between major political forces, will have better education for Mexico.
Por eso, esta reforma en materia educativa, que es parte del consenso entre las distintas fuerzas políticas del país.
In the past, we failed to provide that education coverage nationwide, and by basic coverage, we should have 97% of coverage by now for elementary school and junior high. We need to work on better education, quality education. That is why we came up with a reform that aims to improve the contents and the way our children are taught in school. But as I said, this reform will take 4, 5, or 6 years to show the actual outcomes of the reform when we finally assess the educational system. And we identify by using indicators that we have changed the quality of education, and it has improved well. And that will help Mexico to be part of the knowledge economy. And knowledge would be the value in the products that are manufactured in Mexico.
Mejore y los indicadores de esta evaluación muestren que el nivel educativo del país es otro, de mayor calidad y que sin duda va a permitir que México se incorpore a esta economía del conocimiento, donde será el conocimiento lo que le dé valor a la producción, a los productos que se tengan en nuestro país.
increase the quality of the human resources, making Mexico very much an international player. Now, what's your vision for Mexico as a global and international player? What kind of role would you like Mexico to play more on the world stage?
México, sin duda,
There is no doubt that Mexico will always show solidarity, be part of the causes in the world like peace, the possibility of having better control over pollutions that was sending out to the atmosphere and to the environment. Mexico will always show solidarity towards those causes. But Mexico is aware of the fact that in order to be a major stakeholder globally and in order to be globally engaged in different causes, we need to improve ourselves domestically. Mexico's leadership in the world depends on what we manage to achieve domestically. If we manage eventually to excel as a country, and if we manage to provide more opportunities to our population, and if we manage to have a more solid economy and with better figures compared to what we have reached now, Mexico then would be acknowledged for its leadership and would play a leadership role in the world.
Y mayor al que hemos tenido en los últimos años, sin duda México adoptará o será reconocido por su liderazgo y tendrá un papel de mayor liderazgo en el mundo.
Throughout the past decades, Mexico's economy has met with many challenges. The growth peak in the 1970s due to high oil prices was followed by minus growth in the 80s and 90s, and with a currency crisis in 1994. Since then, however, the ruling administrations have strived and succeeded to improve the country's macroeconomic fundamentals. Today, Mexico's per capita income by purchasing power parity is over $15,000 and is the 11th largest economy in the world. As an emerging economy, Mexico is now firmly established as an upper middle income country with the highest earning in the region. With a growth rate of below 4%, however, far from its 5% target, and unemployment, many believe the country could still do more to improve its performance and become a strong global player.